Elementary music teacher friend, you love what you do, but you might feel unappreciated and, in fact, unseen some days. You may even feel like you're on a music teacher island and just want to connect with other music teachers who can relate to both your struggles and wins when it comes to teaching elementary music. I get you and understand completely the feelings you're having. That's why each and every week, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast will provide you with solo and guest episodes that will help you realize you're not alone in your music teaching journey. Throughout each episode, my goal is for you to be able to walk away with actionable steps and ideas to help you feel like you're ready to take on the new week with whatever challenges may be thrown your way. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Peresta, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're at home, in your car, in the shower, or wherever else you're listening, grab your cup of coffee or whatever other beverage is nearby and listen in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. Well, hello there. Welcome back to the podcast. I wanted to record this episode about growth mindset because I feel like we talk a lot about growth mindset, but I don't really feel like we've ever discussed what is it. So I wanted to record an episode about growth mindset for kids in the music room. Now, your school has probably talked about growth mindset a lot. Maybe you've done a book study about it. Maybe you've researched it. Maybe you are required to incorporate it in your classroom in one way or another. But these are my thoughts about growth mindset, as is everything else on this podcast is my opinion. So take it or leave it. So a lot of things talked about in the education world, I should say. One of those things is growth mindset. And obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is helping kids grow in their mindset and to know that they can do the hard things. Kids believe in themselves because their teachers believe in them first. They know learning might get hard, but they also know they can do the hard things. Now, I think back to when I was a child, which was in the 1800s. I'm just kidding. As my kids say, Mom, you lived in the 1900s. I sure did. But anyways, when I was a kid, I remember the style of teaching I remember the most were the teachers who were very disciplinarian and strict and it's my way or the highway, and you felt like you just kind of needed to do your work because you did the work, you turned it in, and that was that. I don't remember very many teachers until I got to third grade who challenged me and made me realize I can keep going if things are hard. So my third grade teacher, I remember struggling in maybe some math concepts. And she would, instead of saying, keep going until you do it, or you can do it, or even things like, well, we only have 5 minutes left, hurry up, which is what I heard from a lot of teachers. She would say, what are you struggling with? It really kind of helped me think through it. And I'd be like, well, this math problem. Why are you struggling? What do you find hard? Well, I don't know what you mean by whatever it might have been. Multiply this number by this number. Where is your notes? What are the steps that I showed you to do that? And I would show her, okay, which of these steps are you getting stuck on? And I would go, okay, I know how to do step 1 and step 2. I think it's step 3. Why are you stuck there? Oh, I don't get what this means by this, and help me unpack it, eventually getting to the point where I could do that math problem, which would help me do more math problems, which in return made me want to try harder for her because I could tell she cared. Now, that was just a specific example of, it's not an exact situation of what happened in my third grade classroom, but I know time and time again that teacher, her name is Miss Stone, who showed up and really invested in unpacking what I was thinking. I was a child, and I'm still this way, but as a child, I got frustrated easily. I would give up easily if I didn't know how to do it. I even remember practicing piano, and there was times I could not get a certain song I was practicing down, and I eventually would just stand up and walk off. I remember slamming the piano lid down a couple times, just getting mad because I couldn't do it. I've always been a perfectionist, and maybe that's why. But I just didn't like not knowing how to do something and would quit easily. But having a teacher like that who would ask questions helped me get unstuck a little bit made me realize I can get through the hard things and I can learn. So let's talk about this a little bit more in the music room. All the way back to the beginnings of this podcast, and no, I don't remember the episode, but I talked about sharing about yourself as a musician. Why, before you even became a music teacher, why did you become a musician? How did you participate in music? What did you do? Did you sing? Did you play an instrument in band or orchestra? Did you play piano? Did you do a little bit of all of those? Did you do musical theater? Did you enjoy attending concerts? Did you like listening to music on the radio? Who did you listen to? Sharing that with your students. Then on top of that, share something that you overcame in music that was hard. So for me, one thing I would tell my students was the piano story I just talked about, where I was like, things got hard. I gave up. I was like, forget it. I'm done. I'm not doing this. And then I would get in trouble because we would repeat the same song the next lesson and I wouldn't because I didn't practice it. Anyways, but also I would share with my students, those of you listening to this who have those kiddos who just are hesitant to sing, I was that kid. I have always been an instrumentalist. I've shared that before. Play piano, clarinet. Singing was not comfortable for me. I can carry a tune. I can sing a melody, but I just remember I was always hesitant to sing. And so it was a struggle of mine. And I just remember I just kind of just kept doing it. And the more I would sing, the better, more confident I would get. And I would just kind of challenge myself to keep singing new songs. And then even in college, when I was on the instrumental track of music education, I still had to take a semester of vocal lessons. And I remember starting out singing really shy and very soft. And this teacher encouraged me and kept challenging me to sing louder and teaching me how to breathe correctly and how to find my head voice, which, oh my gosh, talk about helping me in the elementary music classroom. I get why I needed to take those lessons. But sharing these challenges with my students, first of all, helped them see the realness in me, to see that I had struggles in music, but I didn't become perfect, but I challenged myself to keep going and how I could overcome these challenges. So what about you? What musicianship story can you share with your students to help them improve in their musicianship or to overcome some obstacles or hurdles maybe they're experiencing in your music classroom? Praise goes a long way in encouraging effort. So, I mean, I know that you're praising your students and you're giving them feedback and you're giving them positive remarks, but really honestly to a child, I know for me personally, having someone just look at me and be like, I heard you. You're singing stronger than you used to sing. I can tell you've been practicing. And giving me some kind of feedback like that made me go, oh, wow, my teacher's noticing. Makes me want to sing out more. So praise really, really does go a long way. I think it's important to remember that if you see a child struggling, sometimes even giving them praise, they're still not going to give you their best effort, but it doesn't mean they're not ever going to. Just keep like planting a seed. Keep feeding them these praise remarks, and eventually over time you're going to see even a teeny tiny little bit of effort that they are going to want to try for you even harder. So I also want you to think about the feedback you're providing to your students. When it comes to growth mindset, instead of just saying, keep going or great job, say something like, you did really great playing that xylophone bourdon because you practiced slowly until you got it down. And then what is that student going to remember for next time? Oh, if I practice slowly on this instrument, maybe it's not even just the xylophone, I will end up getting it. Whatever feedback, change it up when it comes to different students and what they need from you. But I think giving them really good feedback that is beneficial, that'll teach them something they can learn from, will in return help them to know what to do better in the future. My last piece of advice around growth mindset is I think it's important for your students to set goals. So have them, if you haven't done this yet, it's not too late, set even 1 to 2 goals, or maybe even 3 of things they want to accomplish by the end of the school year in the music room. They know I knew from a young age that singing was something that I just wasn't confident in. You're going to have some students that recognize what their struggles are or things they just want to improve in. Have them set those goals, and then when it comes to the end of the school year, or maybe you don't implement this till next school year, have them see, kind of like a New Year's resolution type of thing, how far they got to accomplishing that goal. And so having a goal set will help them to realize with their growth mindset, what do I need to do when I can do these hard things in order to accomplish that goal? What goal can I set, and how can I unpack it in order to achieve it later in the future? So I just know that kids come with all kinds of baggage and struggles to school. Helping them to realize they can do the hard things, they don't have to give up easily, and helping give them some strategies in order to do that is super important. I would love to hear your feedback around this and how you encourage kiddos to have growth mindset in your music classroom. Let me know, and have a great day. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening into the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. There is an exclusive Facebook group just for listeners of this podcast and any elementary music teacher called the Elementary Music Teacher Community Facebook group. Come on over and join us there, where we have conversations around the podcast episodes and encourage each other each and every week. And also head to my website, thedomesticmusician.com. I have some free resources there that you can download to help you gain traction in your classroom today, as well as the blog and the membership site and all kinds of other goodies to help you keep going in your music teaching journey. I cannot wait to keep connecting with you and encouraging you and spurring you on in your journey of teaching elementary music. Hang in there, have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.